Hi, this is Earl Shivers. I invited a few great women out here today to the Sugar Shack to discuss the 6th District congressional race here in Georgia. And I want to hear what they seem to think about Miss Karen Handel. And I will start with Betty Johnson and let Betty tell us about the Planned Parenthood. And Betty, would you shoot that for us? Let's go.
Okay, well, I've been knowing Karen Handel since she was Secretary of State, and as far as I'm concerned, she did a wonderful job as Secretary of State because I'm on the election board and I know that she did a great job for us there. And she was on the Susan B. Komen Foundation, and she made her proposition to the foundation was they could do one of three things: either stop it all together, pay for part of it, or not do nothing at all. And they chose to do nothing at all. And the Planned Parenthood does not even pay for mammograms. What they do is provide a kit that you can do almost what a person can take home and do for themselves, like a pregnancy test. A man or a woman can either one do it for a breast cancer screening. So they stopped it. And so what Mr. Ossoff is doing is trying to tell all these lies about her and saying that all that stopped. And as far as that doctor, that so-called doctor getting on there and telling all those stories, that lady needs to be taken to the state medical board as far as I'm concerned. And we have done a study on her and found out on a scale of 1 to 10, her rating is a 3.2.
Tricia.
Yes.
I want to make you aware of something. Mr. Ossoff worked for Hank Johnson, tipped Guam. He felt that the island of Guam was going to tip over because there were so many people on it. Okay, and this young man has accused Karen of spending so much money on chairs in the governor's office, but yet he took 3 trips through the federal government amounts of $15,000, which I could have took. Anybody could have took it, works for Congress, but some of us choose not to do that. Well, how do you feel about that, the way he's talking that about Karen and then...
Well, it's not the truth. If he had done his homework, he would have realized that Karen came in after the Democrats left the House, left the mansion, and the chairs was in just disarray. And
that's right.
They needed the staff, not just Karen's office, but the whole staff needed chairs.
People, what we're talking about here is the governor's office, and it was after the election of Sonny Perdue for governor of Georgia, and Roy Barnes' staff removed all the wheels off the chairs. I know this personally because I worked there, and then they also piled all the furniture into the ceremonial office. Gene, would you approve of that?
No, I would not approve. I would think you would have to have office furniture for the staff there.
That's right. And Karen was only doing her job for the people of the state of Georgia. And believe me, people, I was there. She didn't buy $14,000, $15,000, $16,000 worth of chairs, and they certainly didn't look like that because my butt sat in one of them. Now, moving on. Betty, what do you think about this gentleman? You know, his family owns a fleet of airplanes at PDK. They have a yacht. He went to a private school that cost $40,000 a year. This little skinny thing, I mean, really, he's had a silver spoon in his mouth all his life. Karen has never. She didn't have a silver spoon in her mouth.
No, she didn't. And if his parents spent $40,000 on his education, they need to fire the teachers because he did not learn a thing. And for him to get up there, what they're trying to do is Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer are trying to buy the 6th District. As simple as that. The Democrats are trying to take away the 6th District. And as far as I'm concerned, Johnny Isakson, Mr. Price, and Newt Gingrich that were there before him, before Karen now, Mr. Price has gone on and they're trying to make out like he didn't do a great job. I know that man personally, and he's a fine man.
Trish, I wanted to cover this. They keep talking about Karen's luxury car. It was a Lexus, and yes, the Lexus was her car before she was even elected Secretary of State. Now, I'm going to tell you from my experience of the lieutenant governor has a Tahoe, he has a driver. The governor has a Tahoe, he has a driver. I'm not sure about the reigning Secretary of State at this time, but even the justice people, the court people up there, they have drivers, of course. Karen drove her own self to work. I know that. I was sitting out there smoking some days when she'd drive up and get in trouble for it. And it was her personal car. So where in the world does he get it that the state of Georgia bought her a Lexus? And if they did, my sister-in-law Robin wants to run for state secretary because she would like a Lexus. But go ahead.
Well, that's like all of his commercials. They're lies. And Karen is a true Republican, and we need to get it out that he lied about the car. It was her own personal car, and that's that. Please know that.
Jean, what do you think about the personal car?
Well, it was always my understanding that that was her personal car, and that it wasn't bought with taxpayers' money.
And the trip to China.
Is anything else y'all would like to add to this conversation before?
Yes, I would like to say that when he gets up there and tells the lies about her taking trips around the world at our expense, at the taxpayer expense, she did go to China, but she went over there because she was told to go or asked to go by Mr. Sonny Perdue to go over there to China to try to bring jobs, which we so desperately need, to Georgia, and that's why she went to China.
And I love the way they talk about that plane. Now, I even have been on that plane. It's like Fred Flintstone. You hope you're going to get off the ground and you hope you're going to land. Such a luxury plane. And then we have this Ossoff's, the skinny man, has a fleet of planes. Damn. All right, we appreciate y'all listening to us. If y'all want to have any comments, we'll take them. And y'all all remember to vote on June the 20th if you live in Fulton County, in Cobb County, for Karen Handel.
Republicans who stay home are voting for Democrats.
Absolutely correct, Betty. And thank you. Thank you all for being here.